How smart is your projector? Hi, I'm Michael Kwan with Megatech News, and today we're taking a look at the AAXA LED Android Pico Projector. So rather than going with some kind of obscure letter and number combination for the name, AAXA went with something that's just really descriptive for what this projector really is. It's an LED Android Pico projector. So basically what that means is it has an LED light source going with the DLP projector and is running on Android 4.2. It has full access to the Google Play Store, so you can run all the different apps and things that you want, but it is heavily skinned. So as you can see here, this is kind of the main menu here, and you get quick access to the main media player and various web apps. The lamp itself is 550 lumens, so it's plenty bright even if you're in a room that's not the dimmest. I was able to use it in my kitchen, in the dining room, and I was able to watch things. The projector is projecting at 720p, so that's a nice HD resolution, and you can get the image up to 160 inches, assuming that you can get far enough back. There is the manual focus, so you will have to adjust the focus to make sure that you can see everything that you need to see. Going around to the back of here, you can see that it has the myriad of inputs, starting with the AV input. It comes with a little cable so you can put in a composite video source if you have an old VCR or DVD player or what have you. There is the headphone jack, which also serves as speakers. So then if you want to use external speakers instead of the ones that are built into the device, you can. So if you want to have a louder experience, that's fine. There's also the VGA and HDMI for really good versatility. You can connect a notebook, tablet, game console. And then next to that is a full-size USB port as well as a mini USB port. The mini USB port, it comes with a little adapter cable, so you can have a full-size USB input as well, and there's a myriad of devices that you can connect to that, which I'll get to in just a second. And then finally there is the IR receiver at the far end there, and that works with the little thin remote that this comes with, which is one of the primary ways that you'll be controlling the projector to do the different things that you need to do. It has the regular kind of menu controls, up, down, back, volume up, volume down, and so on, in addition to the controls that are on the device itself that you can see here, again with up, down, settings, back, and so on. For my part, I found that it was actually a lot easier using the USB inputs, and you can connect pretty much any computer peripheral to it. So the best usage case scenario would be if you could get yourself a wireless desktop, a single USB dongle, and that way you have keyboard and mouse, and it's fully functional within the projector itself, or you can just use a wired keyboard and mouse as well, and that's really easy to navigate through the menu. So for me, that was by far the easiest way to get your way through the menu, enter text, and do all the other stuff, because using the onboard controls or using the remote, it does become much more finicky when you get outside of this simplified UI. And as you can see, like, the UI is very heavily skinned. There's big buttons, and it does come preloaded with a series of apps so you can access through the apps there. And that's when you really see that it is Android 4.2 under the hood, and you can see that it comes loaded with a lot of the basics like calendar and Facebook, as well as YouTube. And if you go into the settings through the app drawer, you can see that it really is Android under there. So you can go through and set your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth, and speaking of Bluetooth, it's great for you to be able to connect Bluetooth speakers and things like that as well. It does connect to the Google Play Store, so you have full access to all the different apps that are in there, bearing in mind that you may not have the best experience since you don't have a touchscreen with multi-touch input to be able to do things. So you probably don't want to be playing Angry Birds or anything like that on there, but all your regular kind of media apps, Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, etc., work great. In the case of the YouTube that comes pre-installed on here, it's actually not really a YouTube app. It is just running through the mobile browser, which is the same thing if you use Google and Chromium there, but it does work. It is kind of a blown up version of the mobile browser version of YouTube, but videos stream through there very easily and very well. There also is the integrated media player with video, gallery, and music. So what that means is anything that you have connected via the USB input, if you have a flash drive or what have you, any files that you have on there, it automatically picks up what they are, detects what they are, and categorizes them accordingly, like how you would with a set-top box media player. So for example, I loaded up a couple of files that we had from our recent meeting with Samsung, and when I opened up video, it just kind of show up. I click on it, press play, and everything is great. Navigating through the videos, again, is not the best through the on-device controls or through the remote, because it is kind of finicky if you want to jump ahead a minute or you want to adjust the volume and things like that. Again, it is better if you're using a keyboard and mouse ideally, but you can do it through the on-device controls or through the remote. The final usage case, which has the biggest versatility obviously, is the HDMI and AV inputs. For example, I'm able to connect my smartphone and it just mirrors everything that I have on my Android smartphone there. So if I want to play videos or show pictures on my phone or run a game or whatever else, I can have it on the bigger screen. But because it is HDMI and regular composite video, you can connect anything really. So if you have a tablet or you want to have a secondary display for your notebook, if you want to connect your Xbox or your PlayStation, that all works great. And because it has the built-in speakers and all that, you can use the headphone jack and stuff and the AV input to be able to have more of a full experience no matter where you're, and again, up to 160 inches. It is a relatively compact device and it does have Android under the hood, and it gives you a lot of versatility, but there are definitely some down points. The controls aren't the best. I did resort back to using a keyboard and a mouse most of the time just because it's just so much easier to do it that way. The other thing that you probably noticed over the course of this video is the fan is loud. It is a DLP projector, so I guess they do need to have the fan there to keep the heat down, but the fan noise does get pretty annoying after a while, and I'm not really sure what they can really do to address that without going to some other kind of technology. The UI is simple and it's straightforward for most of the basic needs that you need to do. Going through YouTube and things like that, again, if you want, you can't really use the mobile browser or anything like that through the remote or the onboard controls. I keep going back to this because being able to use the device without having to whip out a keyboard and mouse is really important, especially if it's supposed to be Android based. Yes, the remote has a like mouse function and you can have like a little mouse pointer, but we all know how terrible it is using a 4-way controller to move a virtual mouse around on the screen. So the other thing that might be a bit of a hindrance is the price. The AAXA LED Android Pico Projector currently retails for $499. That's not really expensive considering that it is doing 720p and it runs Android and has a dual core processor, 1 gig of RAM and the rest of it, but it's not exactly cheap either. So probably AAXA's target audience for something like this would be people that are doing business presentations or they want to watch videos on the go and things like that. At $499, it's a relatively small investment, but it's arguable whether you are really getting the full value there. That's our review of the AAXA LED Android Pico Projector. I think it's a great device. I think it's very versatile, but there are definitely some improvements that can be made. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe, like, and comment and all that stuff. We want to make sure we hear all your feedback so we can do more great videos for you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.